Hey guys, my name is Lou and welcome to my new channel. What this channel is going to be about is my motherhood journey, because I am having my first child this year in the summertime. So I'm very excited, and I want to share that journey with you because I feel like there's a lot of information floating all over YouTube about, you know, I'm sorry, but my laundry's going, and I just realized that while this whole video is rolling. Give me a second. So first, this video is about doulas altogether. I just got a doula, and I wanted to share what are some things that I have done to find my doula, and the difference of finding your doula, if you're gonna go with a doula and having a regular OB or doing a doula and a midwife. I'm still in that conversation, but I wanted to come on this platform and share. So first, like, why did I get a doula? Like, why did I get a doula? What's a doula? You know, that whole thingamajig. First, let's just talk about how I even thought of a doula. Scrolling on Instagram, finding out I'm pregnant, and I start seeing all bunch of doula stuff showing up. Doula this, doula that, doula this, doula that. And I'm like, what's a doula? Like, you know, I'll hear people's personal testimony about after having a child, someone coming in and helping. But I just didn't really understand the whole basis of what a doula is and how would a doula play a role in my life. Finally, what's a doula? A doula is a supportive person. He or she is a non-professional. I mean, I'm gonna say she because most doulas I've met have been women. So she is your supportive person through childbirth, postpartum, any type of miscarriage, trying to get pregnant, and they are a part of your support system. What I'm learning is through having a child or getting ready to have children, you need to have a support system. And unfortunately, I lost my mom in 2020, and that is the person I'm thinking is my support system. My mother has had 3 children, you know what I mean? But she was not a resource for me. So that's why I actually was seeking into it. And when it came up to my screen, I'm like, this is something I would really want to, you know, get myself involved in. So your doula is your support system. She helps you with your birthing classes. Depending what kind of doula you get, actually, is like, well, I'm gonna be specific, and my specific doula she helps me with a ton of stuff. Very holistic. She's extremely holistic, and that is my way. Like, I'm not a person, the first thing I'm gonna do is go for medicine. I'm gonna find alternative ways to get myself the best care possible, and she totally speaks my language. So that's what she does, but she helps with postpartum, pre-birthing classes, prenatal classes, lactation, and I didn't even know that. I'm thinking, like, you know, you have a baby where in the hospital, right? Duh. No, not duh. And they teach you how to breastfeed your baby. No, that is not their responsibility. So my doula also helps with lactation as well, adjusting to the baby when you bring them home, prior to someone that you could talk to about your symptoms or what you're feeling and how you're feeling and things like that. And I'm one of those people, like, and I'm sure a lot of us women do this, but we're very resourceful and we're gonna try to figure out on our own. This is a time that I have no experience in this field whatsoever. This is like I mentioned before, this is my first child. So I wanted to have as much help as possible. And that's why I chose to go with a doula. So now I'm gonna jump into, like, how did I find my doula? And how I found my doula is actually just talking to people. I spoke to my OB because I was really like searching. I was really searching. So I did ask my OB. I went on my doula's website. I read some information. I was into it. I interviewed her. We had a one-on-one, and it went great. It went amazing. However, prior to her, I was already interviewing doulas. So I was asking people about resources. I went on a doula directory. I reached out to a few doulas. I even reached out to a few midwives because I wasn't sure. Some midwives do both of like same thing what a doula is, or your support person, but the midwife can actually deliver your baby as well. So I did interview midwives, and I interviewed a few doulas as well. And some questions are like what their experience is, if they're vaccinated. It was something that was really important to me. How long, like how many deliveries they've had, what does their routine look like, how is their bedside manner. All those things are important questions you need to know about, that you're inviting someone into your life and into your baby's life and also into your space. So those are some important questions I believe that you should be asking when you're like looking for outside help. Like, interview these people too. It's not like, okay, how much do you cost? Let me just give you that. Okay, can I afford you? Perfect. No. And I'll get into the costs a little bit later. But those were some things that I was interested in. I wanted to see how her practice was. Was she more holistic? Is she hands-on? Does she only do virtual meetings? Will she be coming into my home? What does she provide outside of just like being your support person? Are you going to be able to maybe spend a night with me or so? Or if I'm introducing my partner into just this experience, how do you work with us collectively? Because if you have a partner, you want to make sure your doula is flexible enough to have those conversations and coach them in the kind of support that you need as well. So those were the questions I had that were super important to me. And I'm sure there will be some questions that you may have that will be super important to you that you need to know about, like what this process looks like. Now let's talk about cost. Like, how much does a doula cost, right? Like, people want to know, can I even afford a doula? So at first I thought my insurance would cover a doula. My insurance does not cover a doula, and I don't think a lot of insurance do, but I could be very, very wrong. But some insurances cover doulas, some insurances do cover midwives. Like, so my insurance covers a midwife, does not cover a doula. So, first look into that, because if you can save some money somewhere, I always encourage people to do so. But what I did find was, most doulas that I was interviewing, they range from like $3,500 to like $2,500, and that was like right around the budget I wanted to work with, and so it worked perfectly. So I was able to meet with my doula. She fell into my budget. She was talking all the things I wanted to hear, and also my daily interactions with her have been extremely phenomenal. So that's how much the cost was. Now, of course, if you have like, if you're that's not your budget, I'm sure there's other budgets, and I'm sure there's other doulas starting off that can fall into your budget. However, what I've learned was the more experienced they are, they can be pretty expensive. Like, I've even found a doula that was like $6,000. I found a doula that was $6,000, but her reviews were like stellar. She was like stellar. But my doula was right mid-range where I wanted to be, and I kind of want to stick to her. I loved her energy, and I loved the conversations we're having, and thus far I love our interactions. Now I want to talk about like my choice of OB. So I did choose an OB. I live in New York City, and I was born at Lenox Hill Hospital, and I wanted my child to be the same, to be born in that hospital. I would say the hospital is pretty conventional. But through this journey, I've been able to do a lot of research, and I am exploring my options because I've learned that having rapport with your OB is very, very important. And I mean, I hate to say it, me and my OB don't have a really great rapport. And when I was searching for my OB, I definitely wanted to work with someone that looks like me. You know what I mean? That is really, really important to me. And it's been more important to me every day than ever. This is something that I want to work with a woman, and I want her to look like me. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I was really honing on our relationship, and I was hoping that our rapport could be better, but it's just not, and it's unfortunate. So I am looking at other options currently right now. I'm in my I'm about to hit 24 weeks, and I still have a little bit of time, so I am exploring different options, and I will link some of them down below if you guys are looking for alternatives. But you know, our first thought is like hospital. I mean, I've even thought about doing a birthing center or even like a home birth before, but I've looked at different options, and I'm looking at different midwives as well, because I just want to have my first experience to be a good experience, or something that I'm proud of, and having people around me that's supportive with my choice, and being very supportive in that area, being familiar, being comforting, having that bedside manner is like so important to me. And I just want to be handled with care. So I am looking outside of my OB to have a better birthing experience with a person that I have a better rapport with. That is really, really important, and that's what I want to do. What's this thing right here? This is my first video. I haven't named my channel yet, so hopefully you guys found this to be very informational. If you're a new mom, make sure you comment down below. If you're getting a doula, like, let me know, like, what doula, how's your experience been going? I want to know all the tea. I want to know all of it, because this is a really exciting this is exciting. I'm loving this whole process, and I just want to share it with people. That it's just like, if you're choosing to do it alone, or if you have a support system, or if you're doing with your partner, like how much of it could be a beautiful experience, and it could be stress-free for sure. So my goal for this channel is to upload at least once a week on different videos about what my doula and I are doing, also how I am preparing my apartment for my baby. I just moved, so this is different energy in here. The energy is like beautiful, and yeah, so I'll be uploading some videos weekly talking about what I'm doing, what I'm eating for the baby, and what I'm craving. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and speak to you soon. And if you haven't, I have other channel. It's Lou_Lou Beauty. I'm sure I mentioned this already, but this is my second channel.